Thomas was just shocked. My Lord and my God was like saying, "Oh my God," today. An exclamation, not a confession. That's the claim. And it sounds reasonable, until you look at the Greek.
Απεκρίθε Θωμάς kai εἶπεν αutō, ho kyrios mu kai ho theos mu. Let me break that down. Απεκρίθε means answered. You answer a person, not the air. Eipen autō, he said to him. That's a dative pronoun indicating a direct recipient. Thomas didn't exclaim into the void, he spoke to Jesus.
If Thomas were merely exclaiming in shock, the Greek would look different. There'd be no dative recipient, no autō. It would be an interjection without direction. But John, writing under divine inspiration, chose the most precise construction possible to show direct address to Jesus. The grammar alone destroys the objection.
And look at what Thomas actually said. Ho kyrios mu ke ho theos mu. The Lord of me and the God of me. That's possessive, that's personal, that's a theological confession of relationship. You don't shout, "the God of me," when you're surprised. That's not how Greek exclamations work. That's a declaration of lordship and deity directed to the person standing in front of you.
Now Thomas was a Jew who recited the Shema daily. "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one." The first commandment, "You shall have no other gods before me." Idolatry was punishable by death. A first-century Jew would never call a creature my God, unless he recognized that Jesus was not a creature.
But here's what seals it. Jesus' response. Verse 29. Jesus said to him, "Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." Jesus doesn't correct Thomas. He doesn't rebuke the theology. He affirms it as belief, and he extends a blessing to everyone who shares it.
Want to see what rebuke looks like? Acts 10:25. Cornelius falls at Peter's feet to worship him. Peter's response, "Stand up, I am only a man." Acts 14:14. Crowds try to worship Paul and Barnabas. They tear their garments and shout, "We are men of like nature with you." Revelation 22:8. John falls to worship an angel. The angel says, "Don't do that, worship God."
Every righteous creature in Scripture refuses worship, every single one. But when Thomas calls Jesus my Lord and my God, Jesus says, nothing corrective, no rebuke, no clarification, just blessing. Either Jesus failed as a prophet by allowing the worst sin in Judaism, or he accepted it because it was true.
And lest you think this was an isolated incident, Hebrews 1:6. And again, when he brings the firstborn into the world, he says, "Let all God's angels worship him." The Father himself commands the angels to worship the Son. This is not Thomas going rogue. This is heaven's protocol. Revelation 5:13. To him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb be blessing and honor and glory and might forever and ever. The entire cosmos worships the Father and the Son with identical worship. The Lamb receives what only God deserves, and no angel corrects it because it's right. So here's your dilemma. Either Thomas committed shirk, the unforgivable sin, by calling a creature my God, and Jesus, as a true prophet, let his disciples slide into hellfire without a word of correction. Or Thomas got it right, and Jesus accepted the confession because he is exactly who Thomas said he is.
Thomas doubted. Then Thomas saw. And when he saw, he made the greatest confession any human ever made. my Lord and my God. Jesus didn't rebuke him, he blessed him, and everyone who would believe after. That includes you. The risen Christ is still standing before doubters, still showing his wounds, still saying, "Blessed are those who believe." Do you?
That's the Greek. That's the context. That's the evidence. If this helped you, share it with someone who's wrestling with this question. Comment below what convinced you that Jesus is Lord, and subscribe. We've got a lot more ground to cover. I'll see you in the next one.